Good afternoon. My name is Lynette, owner operator of D.A.L.S Credit Solutions. I went live earlier regarding certifications, and I had my grandson in the background. So I wanted to redo it live to give people an opportunity to get the feel of what does it mean to have government certifications. Many times you look on might view my profile and see the variations of certifications: small business, small diverse business, woman owned small business, economically disadvantaged woman owned small business, and a series of others. But the question is, what does it mean? What does it actually mean to have certifications to work with local, state, and federal government officials? How do you begin the process? How do you begin to learn how to build your brand to be severely distinguished amongst the rest? There's many credit repair companies, there's many educational, skincare, things of that nature. But what does it actually mean to get certifications on your business? To understand the dynamics of, I want to go through a series of events of what I personally experienced through my procurement team, and as PTAC, it's called the Procurement Technical Assistance. I can't think of the C right now. My apologies. To help you within this process, I must say I have an excellent PTAC team, and it's extremely important for to build that type of team, because if they don't know about your brand, you make sure that they get to know about your brand. So what I'm going to go over is the actual certifications. How are you able to obtain certifications? Being a small business owner is an accomplishment within itself. You have individuals with similar structures, but the goal is to become distinguished so your brand can be visible to the eyes of local government and federal officials. As I go through this presentation, I want to give you some insight on how to build your company's certifications. And you start off with, it's a platform called SAM, Systems of Awards Management. SAM is a data platform which the federal government agency can collect data from the solicitor or the primary supplier. Excuse me, the solicitor is the one who you get the actual invites to bid from. The central contractor registration allows information to be validated, stored, and sent to government agencies. SAM, Systems of Awards Management, www.sam.gov, allow you to get your information stored, have you prepared to go through local and state and federal contracting. And it also gives you an insight, a certification called small business. So the way to do that, you must obtain a Dun and Bradstreet number. Excuse me. Dun and Bradstreet is called a data universal number, and this allows government entities to look at your brand, view your brand, see how you're operating financially, physically, structurally. Everything is on the Dun and Bradstreet website. This is a way you build your business credit. A lot of people will pay for trade lines to go on there to get a stronger profile. But if you do it the way that you develop relationships on ordering items from different products or different places like Uline, Quill, have gas cards, J.C. Penney cards, it's a host of them. You begin to build a profile that you don't have to pay Dun and Bradstreet to obtain a number. The Dun and Bradstreet number is absolutely free, and it's something that you need to obtain before you complete the Systems of Awards Management, and that's SAM. SAM is definitely a lengthy process, and it's extremely exhausting. It took me roughly around 40 something hours to complete my SAM, but once completed, it's very beneficial because it begins to allow your entity, your brand, to become distinguished. There's many credit repair companies. There are not many with certifications on them. I don't think there's any, but if it is, excellent. Continue to build your brand. But certifications honestly distinguish any business from the regular business. So completing the process again, it takes a very long time. Read over all the material within systems of awards management. SAM, again, is a profile that solicitors can retrieve your data. This data is stored in a government setting, and once you're completed, you can obtain a small business certification. So it is a small business certification. It's a self-certification that you can self-certify, means go in and do it yourself without any type of individuals, you know, checking your financial statements and things like that. Self-certifications can be obtained um, during your company's, your state actual government entities. So for Pennsylvania, ours is BOISBL certification. And if you look that up, and again, that's BOISBL certification. And this is in the state of Pennsylvania only. It allows you to obtain a self-certification as a small business. Self-certifications as a small business comes from your North American Industrial Codes, or NAICS codes. Wherever your scope of practice is, you make sure that your NAICS codes match what you're doing. A lot of people that go through systems of awards management only get one or two SAMS codes. Excuse me. For example, if you're a notary, I'm a notary, people just get the notary North American Industrial Code. I have quite a few. So for example, if you have to sign your name, even though it's a stamp, that's considered a signature. Put that NAICS code. If you have to travel and do education for us, refinancing a mortgage and things like that, that's a North American Industrial Code. Always distinguish your brand. Always encyclopedia your brand. Never Google your brand. Meaning, get as deep as possible within the NAICS codes so you can build your small business, so you can have more visibility and have more access to do government, local, state, and federal contracting. There's a lot of certifications after the small business. But in order to obtain the small diverse business, you must do the following. One, if you're a minority, they have many minority certifications. Not many, but they have quite a few minority certifications. I know the Minority Business Enterprise is one of the certifications I've obtained to get my small diverse business. The reason I did that because my PTech team gave me a list. And again, work your PTech team. Excuse me. Work your PTech team because they have the resources. And if they don't know about your brand, again, educate them on your brand so they can find the resources to ensure quality is delivered. I am running a class in February. If people want to join, please feel free to shoot me an inbox or set up an appointment. But however, PTech is free. Free is always better than paying somebody because, again, you don't want someone to educate you on something that you can find the education and educate your PTech team. These are federal entities that assist you in building your brand, getting certifications that's needed. If you feel as though that's too much for you, there are individuals that, educate you on certifications, but ensure that they're educating you on an area that's, within your scope. Everybody does janitorial, everybody does, you know, uh, security. You want something that's going to be particularly made to your brand. So if you do and you want to go through the class, please feel free to inbox me and we can have a discussion. It does start February 1. To go back into the certifications, in order to obtain a small diverse business, you need a third party certifications. What are third party certifications? Anything that's not free, basically. So if you go through the Minority Business Enterprise, that's associated with the yearly fee of $350. If you go through the Woman Business Enterprise, that's associated with the fee That's enough, $350. If you're a veteran, they have a veteran disabled. They have a veteran um, certification that's associated with a fee. They also have the LBGT certification that's associated with a fee. The reason that the third party certifications are needed, and these are state level only certifications, these are not federal. There's a difference. State is for local and state, federal is for federal. Your economically disadvantaged woman-owned small business is a federal certification. It's federal, it's not state. A woman business enterprise is a state certification. So there are differences of criteria of what you want to have on your business. So the minority business enterprise allowed me to add the self-certification of the small diverse business enterprise, small diverse business, excuse me, to the company's platform. So with these certifications, building your profile allows you to get in front of people that individuals with no certifications can. And again, they have a series of them. WBE, Women Business Enterprise, and the Minority Business Enterprise is just, for, minorities and women. But if you obtain both of those, you would then gain a federal certification called the Minority Women Business Enterprise. That can be used both federal and state. So make sure you understand the dynamics of your certifications. The SBA did have a self-certification for the economically disadvantaged women-owned small business and the small woman-owned small business certification, but they did away with that. So you have to now go through a third party. I did mine with the woman of Chamber of Commerce to get my certifications on a federal level. So please be sure to understand that state certifications are based on local state certifications. Federal certifications allow you to do business with the federal government. So please understand the dynamics of both. Again, you always hear small diverse business, woman owned small business. And again, that's federal. You'll hear minority business enterprise, woman business enterprise, the LGBT certification. You'll also hear about the disabled owned business certification. These are all game changer state certifications. However, they will not allow you to do business on a federal level unless you obtain federal certifications. So as we dive into this, a lot of times, again, I always say, don't Google your business, encyclopedia your business. You hear the same certifications over and over and over again. So I'm going to introduce some certification that I'm going over that I have not heard, and I am also going to put into the class that I'm going to be producing for February 1, 2021. These certifications that I'm going to mention are game changer certifications. It puts a distinguished certification to your business. Again, it's nothing wrong with the diverse. It's nothing wrong with the minority, because that's what we are. However, if you want to stand out amongst the rest, you go after these. The minority business certification, called the B Corp, B certification, is a certification that will allow individuals to know that you are equally involved with all races. It also is, we stand for injustice as, minority business owners, excuse me. The B Corp is like having, the certification is like having a credit repair company. Now you have a credit union. That's how strong the certification is. So to add this type of certification to your business is a game changer walking into the federal government, even walking into the state, local and state realms. When you have a B Corp, it shows that you are serious about your business. You are the set asides that you have for the normal state, like woman business enterprise and minority business enterprise. The B Corp is a game changer. Their set asides, they don't have any. They can basically, just because of the actual certification and the meaning behind it and justice, the actual, you know, you're doing things that are, building the world, not tearing it down. It's a strong certification to get. They do cost. Always, when you're going after third party certifications, ask for if they have any funding. If they don't have any funding, it's your decision to make, to either pay for or wait for funding. My thing is, if you want to invest in your company and build your brand, it costs. It costs for these certifications. You may can find some that's free, but the powerful ones, again, you want to not Google your business, you want to encyclopedia your business. So these are game changer certifications. The next one is the lead certification. This certification is interesting because a lot of people think, oh, if you are doing more so of having, electricity or electrician, or doing some type of, you know, housing or anything like that, this certification is meaningless. This is another powerful certification because people are unaware. Um, it's a builder certification, meaning if your home is in a storefront or even a house, the certification will allow you to make changes, do upgrades, save money, have tax cuts. Also, are fee waivers for grants, not for grants, but fee waivers just if you have to apply for a grant. This certification does all of that. I think the certification itself, I think, is almost $1,000. But if you utilize the certification correctly, you will basically get your money back. And again, when you go through certifications, ask for funding. Are there any funding right now to assist with the cost? If you can't get the full fee, take part of the fee. It's more money in your pocket. So the LED is the Leadership, Energy, and Environmental Design certification. Game changer certification. The lead certification, lead certification is excellent to have on your business. I also apply for that as well with the B Corp, and amongst others that, I can have a discussion if you enroll in the class, or if you want to just, inbox me and have questions. This is power moves for our certifications. The next certification I went after was the Federal Trade USA Certified certification. Many people think, oh, I don't have produce, I don't do farming, I don't need this certification. If you have a product or a service that you can trade and somebody can utilize it, this is a good certification to have. It's to allow individuals to know that you are following ethical standards within your business. So this certification is a must-have, especially if you're in the realm of agriculture or such. But if you're not, it's still a good certification because, again, if you have a product or service, you should always want to get, again, distinguished certifications. Local and state certifications allow you to stand out amongst the rest. However, even though you're not federally doing federal contracts, because the reason you do local and state first, because you need to build relationships before you go into AA. And these are federal contracts and federal federal terms that you can get solicitations and invites to work with the federal government. Government and state certifications are so important for the simple fact you need to build relationships before you go in front of that federal government. In order to do that, you answer to solicitations and win contracts. During the program that I'm building, I will also educate you on how to build a capability statement and add these type of work relationships or any type of work you've done prior to government contracting to build, your platform. State and local certifications state certifications are good, but federal certifications are game changers. Even though you haven't received a federal invite, put the certifications on your business to prepare you for federal government contracting. You can even get solicitations, and you're not even AA, HUB zone, and these are contracts within the Small Business Administration. You always need to stay Fed ready. Fed ready means, again, get the certifications now. You don't want to wait till you go into an 8A program. An 8A program is a 9-year program that you must try to get contracts and work along with the federal government. If you spend years in there building, you're wasting time, and you only can get an 8A certification one time in your life. Once it's done, it's done. So you build relationships now prior to going into 8A, hub zone, things like that. So you don't have to worry about wasting time within to obtain relationships. My favorite federal contractors certifications, excuse me, is the National Federal Contract Management Certification. It's a game changer. I'm going through 2 right now. I'm going for the Certified Professional Contract Manager and the Certified Federal Contracting Manager. Even though I'm not federally certified, I'm obtaining these certifications. So when I go for the AA program, I have these certifications. They are it's requirements prior to getting accepted to do the certifications, because there are exams at the end of the program. But once you have it, it's mind blowing. So the website is the National Federal Contract Manager certification. Go check it out. Go through the steps first to see if you qualify to even take the class. And if you're not, it's okay. Still pursue, become a member. I think the membership is $150. I think the class is like $500 or something, and the test is like $175, but it's worth it. Again, if you want to invest in your business and become distinguished, and you don't want to be the same, please check out these certifications. A lot of people you hear, they don't talk much about the pandemic. We're in a society of emergency. Why not, if you're doing contracting, if you're doing federal contracts, why not get certifications like FEMA? You don't have to be an emergency medical staff to get a FEMA certification. That means you are allowed to be solicited for natural disasters and make a lot of money. Why not become OSHA certified? That means you're in compliance of health standards. We're in a health crisis. Go for the distinguished. Don't do the Google, do the encyclopedia method. Go for certifications that's going to make your brand distinguished. I'm going after the FEMA. I'm going after the OSHA certification. It's many of them out there. And let me see if I can find them for you. One. I don't know if you guys can see me. Let me see. I am looking for this certification. Let me see. Google. Uh-oh. I'm gonna do it on my phone. I'm gonna do it on Facebook. Let's see. So I'm gonna Google and see if I can find, not Google. I'm gonna go on this Google shit. So FEMA certification. Let me see. So this will allow your business to have an emergency management institute certification and a professional developed certification. Again, if your services, it doesn't matter if you are an educator, skincare, photographer, notary, real estate, um, credit repair, you know, it doesn't matter. Holding these certifications within your brand will allow strong visibility to the federal government. We're in a pandemic. If you want to continue to thrive during the pandemic, these are certifications that you should obtain. You're the first one they're going to call if it's an emergency. For credit, somebody can't deal with their finances, the money is, falling apart. And trust me, if you're not following what's going on financially, you should really get a whiff of it. Um, the American dollar declining immediately. We're in a pandemic. If the nation is not able to thrive, credit is declining, money is depleting. Me having a FEMA certification and a professional management institute certification on my profile allows me to be visible in front of the federal government without a federal AA certification. Very important. The do's and don'ts um, of getting a whole bunch of certifications is make sure that you can benefit for having these certifications, and it's so important. FEMA is very important. OSHA is another certification that many people overlook. If you, I have a solicitation I'm looking at now, and they want you to be OSHA certified. I completed a class. I got the 30-hour OSHA certification. It's extremely important to distinguish your brand. Don't get the standard. It's nothing wrong with getting a small business, small diverse business, things of that nature. Nothing wrong with the minority woman um, business enterprise certification. That's fine. But if you're still in the process of building relationships, dealing with the federal government, or trying to even go towards the federal government, get the certifications that's going to be attached to your business that allow the federal government for your brand to be visible in order to conduct business. FEMA, OSHA, and they even have a HUD certification I was hearing about. I wasn't too sure about it, but I have to check into it. So to do a recap on everything that I discussed is so important, excuse me, because having these certifications on your business is so important. The small business is obtained through a self-certification process once SAM is completed and active. SAM is Systems of Awards Management, excuse me. It also allows you to obtain, again, a small business certification. Once that's completed, to get a third-party certification, to get the small diverse business, and the small diverse and the small business are the only self-certifications that I know of right now that you can get in without paying. The way you get a small diverse business, you must get a third-party certification. Minority business enterprise, woman business enterprise. They have the LGBT business enterprise. They also have disabled owned small business enterprise, or disabled woman owned small business, or disabled owned small business. They have a veteran owned small business. They have a series of third parties. I was smart. I'll not say I was smart, but I was blessed to get quite a few of mine during the pandemic in March, back in, I think, June, and all the fees were waived because it was grant money given, being dispersed to third party entities for individuals that wanted to, add these certifications to their business. In order to obtain these certifications, they do have a series of questions and documents that they need. The best thing about the woman business enterprise, if you obtain the woman business enterprise, you can attach it to get the LGBT. You can attach it to get the veteran. If you are a veteran, you can attach the certification and get disabled owned small business. You can, when I say attachment, you don't have to give all that paperwork over and over again. So I obtained the WBE and the MBE, which made me a minority woman business enterprise, which a lot of federal solicitors request when you're doing being solicited to do contract work. So I gathered quite a few certifications again during the pandemic to ensure that I became distinguished. But you always hear woman, woman, woman. Everybody in business doesn't do is not a woman. Everybody in business don't do janitorial. Everybody in business don't do security. It doesn't matter if you're notary, credit, real estate, photography, skincare, um, lampshades. Um, you do you fly kites. Hell, it doesn't matter. The federal government always utilize businesses. Um, a lot of people won't understand the certifications because you see the standard always talk about janitorial because of COVID. But during the pandemic, I thrived pretty well um, obtaining these certifications. So always remember, you get the small business self-certification. Once SAM is completed and active, you'll obtain the small diverse business status once you add a third party, minority business enterprise, women business enterprise, LGBT certification, veteran, disabled or veteran small business. But I always say, you want to be distinguished. Don't get, it's not wrong with getting the diverse ones, but if you want to stand out. The B Corp is dangerous. The B Corp is an excellent certification you should obtain. Being a minority, you deal with equality. Excuse me, you don't discriminate. And again, it's like changing a credit repair company to a credit union. That's how strong the certification is. The lead certification, that's the leadership, energy, and environmental design certification. You might not be an electrician. However, it gives good tax cuts, waive fees for grant applications, also allow you to save money on energy. It doesn't matter if you're not an electrician, but if you're paying electricity and you need upgrades to the storefront or your home, you can use this because of the certification and get grant money for it. A lot of people don't talk about that. Um, the fair trade business certification um, is excellent because people think, oh, you in produce, you're not in produce, so you don't need certification. If you have a product and service that you can trade to someone else, you can do business. Like if you're an educator, um, I know my cousin's husband, he just opened his online learning program, and education is going to, be now an online setting. When you're developing curriculum and programs to ensure that kids remain in compliance during the state standards, it's a game changer. So this is something that you always want to make your brand distinguished because, again, certifications you think may not apply to you applies to you. I got a disadvantaged business enterprise for the United States Department of Transportation. I don't deal with licensing. I don't deal with um, you know, the actual um, driver center, but they need to budget their money to insure the trucks that they want to, get for the new winter or, for the pandemic for transport and new buildings, COVID safety buildings. They need a financial planner and a credit advisor to ensure they stay in compliance to the budget. I got the certification. Make yourself visible to the government so they can call on you and do business. Again, federal contracts, federal certifications. Um, there's the National Federal Contract Management certification. I'm going for two. I'm going for the, Certified Professional Contract Manager. That means if you have a solicitation, you win the bid. It doesn't matter if you don't do the work, you are still considered the prime contractor because you hold this certification. Meaning you disperse the funds, request it, how it's going to be dispersed, all of that. And you don't even have to be the one to do the work. So to see this certified professional contract manager and a certified federal contract manager are the two I'm going for. Again, it is an exam afterwards. The is some pre-qualifications prior to being accepted. The membership to, interact with individuals that are certified is a good tool. I think the membership is $150 a year. The class is like $450 something, and I think the test is like $170 something. So make your brand visible to places like the National Federal Contract Manager certification. It does cost. Ask for funding. Again, if they don't have funding, you want your brand to be distinguished, foot the money up if you're able to. If not, do it when you can. The next one, my last one I talked about was FEMA. During the pandemic, um, you should hold a FEMA certification. You should hold a management, what is it, MPI? I'm sorry. So FEMA, um, the professional development series certification. We're in a pandemic. I don't think we're going to get out of it. I don't know about the vaccine. I'm not talking about that. That's politics. But if you have a business and you need to continue to thrive and you obtain a FEMA, OSHA, all these certifications, your entity, if something goes down on a federal level, even if you don't have an 8A certification, you're going to be called on. I don't have an 8A certification. I get beta SAM solicitations because of the certifications I hold. I also had the honor to be invited to bid on the entire state of New York's finances. It's huge. I'm a home-based Black business owner, and I have certifications and have criteria that I have on my business and experience that I'm able to look at a whole state finances for 2021. And it's the state of New York. I was invited to that. I was also invited to the state of Illinois, quite a few states. So I have, I was invited to a solicitation in Arizona to do real estate, to look for, buildings for the federal government. Build your brand so distinguished that they can't call on nobody else but you. And if they do call on someone else, you can outdo the norm. This is your girl Lynette. I thank you for tuning in. Those who paid, please put your email in. I'll send you the presentation. Again, I have a class coming February 1st on how to gain certifications and how it's specifically to your scope, not the broad scope, not the Google scope. Specifically, if you do notary, I will educate you on how to build your business for notary, for your brand to be in front of local, state, and federal contractors. I want to bid in Virginia. I don't even live in Virginia. So you have to understand the dynamics. If you don't want to go through anyone's class, kudos to you. Work your PTAC team. Educate your PTAC team on your brand so they can put you in front of contracts to ensure that you can get the bids and be able to continue to thrive. Because yes, it's going to get worse out here, excuse me. And you want to ensure that your business does not sink. Check out the certifications if you pay for this. Excellent resources. I have, again, a class coming February 1. If you don't want to pay for a class, again, please utilize your PTAC team. It's free. It's so free. Use them. Educate them on your business. Make them work for what they get paid and get funding for. And PTAC is the professional technical assistance. Let me see what it means. I have a good PTAC team. Let me see. I have to pull it initials up because I don't remember right offhand. So it's the professional technical assistance. Let me see. Now I'm gonna pull it out. I'll put up my PTAC guy. He just he's a wealth of information. I'm really lucky on the people that I have in my corner with PTAC. We don't always see eye to eye, but when people say, "Oh, well, they will never use your company, you won't never get bids," and that's how they thought of in the beginning because they wasn't aware of the business. But when I began to educate and deliver, you know, what my brand was about, they learned to respect it more and show appreciation to what I do. So again, always make contact with your PTAC team. You find it by looking in your area. I still didn't tell you what it means though. Let me see. Let's see. That's hard one to repeat. I think it's the professional technical assistance. Can't think of the C. Please forgive me. Program. Look up your PTAC team in your area. They're free. Educate them on your brand so you don't pay anyone to build your company. It's a lot of work to build a brand. It's even harder to have your brand distinguished. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I did do it earlier at 12 o'clock. My grandson was up running around, so I had to kind of stop and start over, get him situated. So I'm signing off. God bless you. If you want to purchase this, please spend this $30, but it gives you a wealth of information. Signing off from your girl, D.A.L.S Credit Solutions. Have a wonderful day.